Sketch lines as emotions surface as boldness. Sometimes the hand knows what the mouth is afraid to say. Before language appears, the line moves. It shakes, pauses, wanders, returns. A sketch begins not as a picture, but as a feeling trying to find a body. The page becomes a place where emotions learn how to stand up without apology. Sketch lines as emotions surface as boldness. The first marks are rarely confident. They hover. They test the page like water that might be too cold. These uncertain strokes are honest. They admit hesitation, tension, the quiet negotiations inside the chest. There's courage in that kind of uncertainty. It is the courage of showing up without a final image already decided. Then something shifts. A line stops asking for permission and simply exists. The wrist loosens. The breath finally drops into the ribs, and movement becomes less about right and wrong and more about presence. Boldness doesn't arrive with noise. It arrives with acceptance. The bold line is not loud. It is clear. It doesn't try to prove anything. It doesn't need to impress. It just sits there on the surface, grounded, carrying a full weight of emotion that finally decided to be visible. Anger becomes dark pressure. Calm spreads as wide curves. Grief shows up as repeated lines drawn over the same place again and again until the page remembers. The sketch becomes a map of honesty. Every line tells on you, not in a cruel way, but in the way a mirror tells the truth without comment. Shaking lines don't mean weakness. They mean you cared enough to feel. Bold lines don't mean certainty. They mean you stop negotiating with yourself for a moment. This is a quiet power drawing. You don't have to explain anything. You simply allow the marks to carry what the body has been holding. At some point, the sketch stops being about accuracy altogether. The drawing may not look like the subject, but it looks like the emotion that met it, and that matters more. The page becomes a conversation between what was hidden and what is finally willing to be seen. Boldness isn't added afterward. It emerges from permission. Permission to feel without editing. Permission to be imprecise. Permission to be present instead of perfect. Sketch lines as emotions surface as boldness. The paper doesn't require you to be fearless. It just asks you to be honest. And that is more than enough.